We have a tweet from the Six Man Show about Jonathan Isaac's recent shoe release, along with it, and a reply from Luke Jaleel saying, "A player plagued by lower body injuries his entire career wearing experimental shoes. What could possibly go wrong?" If only we had a recent reference point for this sort of thing. I love that. That encapsulated exactly my first reaction about this. You know, there's all the other business implications and stuff that we're going to talk about with the lifestyle brand, but with this was on the court. No, man, I'm so excited to finally have you back as a part of this team, and then no, what? Like we've seen Zion blow through shoes. We've seen the ball sneakers that stunk and were, you know, probably horrible for Lonzo. Now like this, like, why this year? He must be really confident, man. He must be really confident because this is a make it or break it year for him in his career. I mean, someone will give him another chance, but this is a difference in a lot of money for him.
Well, I know you've brought the video here to the show, which I have not seen yet, so I'd like to scour. This looks like if the Olympic Committee decided to create a airline, that's what their logo would look like. Unite us. Fly unite us. I'm going to reach back for a... Okay, click it in. I'm buckling up because I'm tired of this guy and I'm ready to fly off. I'm tired of this dude. I know only 50% of this show wants him back on the court. I didn't want him back before. I definitely don't want him back now. The hubris. I'm using one of your big words. It's not that big, but it's just a different word. The hubris on this gentleman to think that you are anybody to lead an apparel style. The average NBA fan doesn't know who you fucking are. I mean, who do you think you are selling a shoe? You played 11 games in the past, 3 or 4 years? You aren't out there, people. People don't know you. How are you going to be the lead guy on this? Like, get another dude to be the lead face.
Yeah.
And then, as you've already mentioned in the beginning, you're a guy that has all these issues with injury, and you're going to take the chance on an unproven shoe brand. That's dicey at best. If you get hurt at all, guess who gets blamed? The shoe company. Like it's putting out something that's very weird, and I get the concept, but like when I buy a pair of Adidas shoes, it doesn't mean that I love everybody who works for or owns Adidas. It just means I wanted a nice pair of shoes and I bought them, or I liked this jersey and it has a Nike swoosh on. It doesn't mean I love Nike and everything they do. So I don't know why he's making that argument here. I feel like he's insane. I feel like he's gone off the handle. And he just can't be stopped. Like, he's an insane person to me. I don't want him playing again for the Orlando Magic. Sadly, I know he will. I cannot stand him. He's a distraction. He's weird. He shows up on Fox News and talks about our women's soccer team not being patriotic. Who the fuck are you to say they're not patriotic? Like, what? It's none of your business. Just stay out of it, dude. Like, he's purposefully keeping himself in the media in some way because he can't stay on the basketball court long enough to be known there. And that's just kind of sad because it feels like he's being used a little bit by the right side and being used to try to just keep his name relevant. And it's like, bro, you want to do that stuff? That's fine. But do not drag the Orlando Magic or any of your possible teammates or any of that kind of stuff. It's not a good look. It's a distraction. It's not what we need. Our team's on the way up. We're young. We're up and coming. We're doing good stuff. And this just feels like we're getting bogged down by this guy and his off-court stuff. And it's just, it's dumb, man.
Oh, wow, Beach. That was hilarious. And I agree and I disagree with some of the things you said, of course. Right. I definitely share your frustration. I think it's extremely brilliant what he's doing from like creating this brand, man. You're right. As a basketball brand, it won't have a lot of credibility, but the people that he's selling it to don't necessarily care about basketball. That's what he's talking about. You know, the people that he's trying to appeal to. I mean, it just seems it seems a little like pandering to me, and I'm not above a pander. I mean, we did, how many Kai Soto videos did we do? We did three too many than we should have done. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm not above a pander, but it just seems a little crazy to unite it with like family, faith, and freedom. Like pandering faith and then pandering freedom, when it seems like wasn't that why people were kneeling, was for freedom.
Well, it's like, look, I like that he is using his freedom of speech. So don't think that I don't like that he's talking about whatever he wants to talk about. Go ahead, say whatever you
Yeah.
want.
No.
When you're tied to something else, right? Like you're tied to an organization or other people, right? Like if you're in a band and one guy says something, well, now everyone looks at the band and now you're fucking up the whole band's earnings because they don't like the one guy and his thoughts. So sometimes you kind of just have to be a little reserved with your thoughts and not share them. So like if he wasn't a part of an NBA team or a franchise and is saying all this stuff, do your thing, live your life.
Yeah.
I welcome you enjoying that freedom. And you know what? There's like 25% of the stuff J.I. says that I'm like, all right. So it's not all a swing and a miss from him, but it's just like, it's weird to be putting that much emphasis on yourself when you're part of a larger team. And in no way are you like, our team's leader, on or off the court. So it's kind of like weird that now people are going to start to see this stuff from you and it'd be like, oh, he plays for the Magic? And it'd be like, I don't want that rub or associated with us at all. But maybe I'm different on that. I don't know. Maybe the people of Florida feel like they're okay with him and what he does, but I'm over it. I've been over it for a while. This is for me the straw that has completely broken it. I'm just not into it. It's upsetting.
So I mean, okay, well then, what are you gonna do when he comes back and plays for the team? You're still gonna be able to root for him and enjoy the games and the play.
Yeah, I'll still root for us to win, but I don't want him to score points or play well. Just rather him be gone.
Oh, Peach is petty. Peach is petty today.
It's not a petty thing. I just don't want him to be around the team unless he's gonna chill out on some of that stuff. We all have things we may want to say. Look, I've had these thoughts about JI for a long time and I didn't say them because he's part of our team and we're part of the show. So I try to be like, all right. But you can only be pushed so far before finally you're going to say something. But where I work or where you work at a school. If you had an interview with the media and you said all kinds of stuff, now the school, people think everyone in the school thinks like you, right? Because you kind of are speaking for yourself, but they associate it with the school that you're working for. You have to have a little bit of that knowledge inside you and realize, is the attention I'm bringing to the guys around me, the team, the organization, is that good for them? Should I maybe wait on this? Because he can do this whenever. He could have done this when he retired, and it might have had more weight and gravitas to me if you do that after your playing career than trying to do it now, where it seems like you're really pandering and kind of grabbing people from different areas to try to get money for something and trying to pretend that you're holier than thou to be able to say, well, yeah, we're doing everything correct here. Our organization is nice and just. And, we don't know where all your shoes are made. They could be made by kids in Indonesia somewhere that are too young, but I don't know. I don't want to be thinking about all of this stuff. This shouldn't be a 15-minute segment on our program right now. And it wouldn't be if this guy wasn't part of our team. That's kind of my point.
I think I'm going to edit it down, but this is what I want. This is what I did want. This is what I wanted to say originally, and this is what we talked about last night too in the show prep. I remember now. Yay! Thanks, Mary Jane. I believe that when J.I. stood, he did it from a deep sense of belief and connection, and with his message. And I believe that was really genuine. And I might disagree with it, whatever. It doesn't really matter. I still respect that. I thought that was pure. I thought it was pure for sure. But now I don't believe all of this other stuff. The brand, it seems too contrived. It's from a business sense, it's savvy as all fuck. I mean, it's savvy as all get out, right? He's capitalizing on being an NBA player right now. Peace, you brought up the point that he's not on the floor. Any self-respecting NBA fan is gonna kind of scoff at Jonathan Isaac merch, athletic apparel. It's a joke almost, but that's not who he's selling it to, and it's a huge market who he's going to sell it to. People that align with this idea of family, faith, and freedom, and believe whatever you may, it's definitely a political orientation. It's a, so that's cool. That you can't get mad at the man for getting a bag, but as a Magic fan, it is annoying. As a Magic fan, it's annoying. That's like, to your point. Like, I'm not mad at him for creating what could be a extremely profitable apparel line right now. Like, this could become huge for him and his family. It could be worth way, way more than anything you can make in basketball. It could.
Yeah, I mean, get that bag, but just like, don't have it be a part of what we're doing. If you did it after he was done, I think I'd be way more okay with it. But it just seems like he's always trying to make that. Like you said, you made a great point about like when he did the stand thing, regardless of how you felt about it, I was kind of like, whatever, he's a man of conviction. I respect that. Do your thing. But then he wrote a book about it.
Yeah, then it's a
book.
Like,
maybe you shouldn't. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now you're trying to profit off doing this stuff. So yeah. And then that's when he started to make me angry, and it's kind of been, steamrolling from there. So.
Okay. So next, what is next, Pish? How can we go from from that to anything?
Well, that's it. The show's over. Show 15.
It's all about J.I.'s shoes and new clothing brand.
And Pee Wee Herman.